Now, the next thing we're going to do is to have a look at some of the export tools that we have available. Addresses added to your address books can be exported from Infigo using this export button that we have here within one of the actual address books. This will provide you with details of entered addresses along with a template from which you can add further addresses and re-import the CSV. If I take a look at what we've downloaded here, it's not this one, there we go. We can see we've got a few column headings that have been created for us, and then the one entry that we've input in here manually now has its own entry within this CSV. So next we'll take a look at what we can export from the address books themselves. So if I go back to address books, and I'll click export address books. So in addition to the individual addresses that we've just seen, the list of address books can also be exported. You can see here, for example, we've only got one address book which we've created, and we've now got an entry within that downloadable CSV. So let's take a look at these CSVs that we've just downloaded. The CSV file I've got listed here is an example of the downloaded address book CSV. The downloaded CSV provides information on current address books that we have, but in addition, it provides you with a CSV template in which you can add further entries and then re-import the CSV into Infigo to create additional address books. So in our example here, additional rows have been added detailing address books ready to re-import into Infigo. And we'll do that in a moment. This other CSV that I've got open here. So here we have an example of the downloaded addresses CSV. So the downloaded CSV provides information on current addresses, and these are the addresses within all of the address books. So in addition, it provides you with a CSV template in which you can add further entries and then re-import the CSV to Infigo to create additional addresses. So in our example, additional rows have been added detailing additional addresses, and these are ready to re-import into Infigo. The downloaded CSV also contains two identifying columns. If I just switch back to the one that we actually downloaded. So you'll see there I have two columns. One of them is the address book ID, and one of them is the address book name. Only one of these is required to add new addresses to the Infigo system. In my example, I've opted to place each individual address using the address book name column. And as a result, I've deleted the ID column, as you can see here. So we still have the address ID, that's fine, and I've left all the new entries blank. However, we haven't got the address book ID. Please note that when you're formulating addresses in here, they cannot contain a comma symbol within them. The CSV we upload is comma delimited, so having commas within the addresses themselves will skew the input. So let's get this bit of information within our address book system in Infigo itself. I'm going to start off by importing the actual address books using the import address books item up here. We can see there that new address books have been created based on that information. We can also see that it's imported, but it's got an error. And when we do have an error in any of these import processes, we are given an additional CSV document which shows us what has failed. So if I go ahead and open that, what we can see there is it's saying that one of those address books already exists, which is absolutely fine. So we tried to import the general address book again, but it already existed within our system. So it's just informing us of that. The other address books have been created as expected. So the next thing we're going to do is to import the actual addresses to sit within those address books. Now, just as a reminder of the format of this before we do import them, I've got all of the addresses for all of the address books within this one CSV. And we've got the address book name, which is where they're going to be assigned. We could put the same address in multiple address books, All we need to do is give it multiple rows within this CSV. So I'll go ahead and import those. And then once that import has completed, we can go ahead and view that address information. So if I go into one of my address books and click Edit, go back to my address list, and we can see all of those new entries have now been created.